welcome back to our channel, Fulfill the Game of Life.
Well, we are kicking off another video, and this video is our second edition of what it really costs to live here. And as you might notice, we're still in bed. It's 4 o'clock. And this is retirement. I guess we have the privilege to stay in bed.
We do, actually.
I'm sure we won't really stay here, right?
No.
We'll be up and out. We've been working on videos all morning, so we're fooling you a little bit. But isn't this just a cute little thing, and the way that they've got this decorated, the little cubby hole there? So anyway, let us get started with our September expenses. And if you hold on to the end, we'll also show you how much money we have made on YouTube so far.
It's exciting.
Hold your horses. Alright guys, well, as we said, this is our second month reporting our monthly expenses in detail, and it takes quite a bit of work to get here. So, kicking off for the month of September, we're going to give you, just like we did before, kind of just this graphic overview, and you can kind of walk you through the colors here, and then we'll walk you through the hard numbers and give you the details for what our cost was for the month of September.
Right.
So, just as in July, our biggest expense was lodging, Airbnb, as you can see in the blue here. Second is food, which once again we split out into eating out, groceries, and junk food. This month is a big heavy hitter here this is our first month of having health care, of actual hands-on health care.
Visiting the doctor, the dentist,
and the optometrist.
That's right.
So we're going to give you some details there, but you can see it's a pretty big chunk this month. And going into the automobile, once again, the typical fuel and tolls. We spent a bit more in tourism once we got away from kind of the rural parts of the country where you can walk into the castles for free.
Walk in there and do it yourself tourism.
Yeah, that doesn't work in Sintra, does it?
No, not quite.
You get to walk in and pay your fee. Right. So there was quite a bit more cost for tourism in Sintra. We did make one electronic purchase, and we had the kind of the typical entertainment you can't really see here, but that's entertainment. And we went to the movies, so we'll walk you through that. And then we had a learning as well for customs, for shipping things from the United States to Portugal.
That's right.
All right, so there's an overview. So let's get started with the detail.
Let's go.
So we'll go ahead and kick off this month by starting with the total expenses of $3,663. Now, again, we want to kind of tell you our lifestyle so you understand. Just as we said in the first video of this, we budgeted our retirement calculations on $2,500 a month. We came to the conclusion that we don't need to adhere to $2,500 a month. So the expenses that you see here are really unaltered daily expenses. We basically spend what we want to. We go out to eat and eat what we want to. We don't wake up and say, hey, we need to save that $10. Let's stay in the house. So these expenses are basically a free-flowing lifestyle, would you say?
I would say so, yeah.
So understand that you could live cheaper than that if you wanted to and you took special action, but in general, this is a free-flowing lifestyle for us, and $3,663 is within our personal budget and really doesn't cause us concern. So let's get started with what we paid for Airbnb. So, lodging for Airbnb, as you can see, was $1,188 for an entire month.
At Magoitio?
Magoitio Beach, yes. This was Magoitio Beach. You have already seen footage with the view over the ocean. And we just remind you once again that anytime you see Airbnb, they've included the cable, the internet, the power, and the water. So there was no additional cost for us, which would be obviously if you were actually renting a apartment or owning a house for yourself. So that's pretty fair. An entire month for $1,200 with utilities and everything included.
With the view and everything.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that, honestly.
Definitely.
You could do that all day long, right? That's beautiful, frankly. So switching to food, let's break it down into the categories we did in our initial video, which is eating out. As you can see, $437 worth of eating out. And again, sometimes that's one entree, sometimes that's two, and sometimes that's leftovers, and sometimes not, right?
That's right.
Second is a grocery store, $278 at the grocery store, and about $78 worth of junk. And that just means if we stopped at a gas station or honestly, we actually, in this month, we put in things like the morning pastel donadas. We would buy those kind of in a group, and then we would bring them back.
And eat them over the next couple days.
Yeah. So that's in the junk category. It's not necessarily junk, because in some cases it served as breakfast. But these, by the way, were really consistent month over month. So no surprise there. All right. On to the third category, which is a new one for us. So we got Christy here to talk about that, because Christy loved these visits.
They were awesome. No, not really. But so the first thing we did is we had to go and get a physical, an approval for our driver's license. So we go to the doctor, we get that done. He basically just looks at us and says, "You're healthy." Where in the U.S. they actually take your blood pressure and, you know,
at least your
vitals.
weight, or exactly. And that really was different.
It was a little bit different.
A little bit, you know, we were expecting to kind of undergo, you know, a minor exam, I would say.
But
I think he looked at us and he said, "Well, you two walked in on your own feet, and looks like you're breathing and you're talking and your eyes work, so you passed."
Actually, yes.
Now,
that's exactly how it went. But
we should get that $69 back, I think, right? For insurance?
We will get reimbursed for that.
But right now, that was out of our pocket.
Right.
So we'll expect that money back.
Yes.
Okay.
And the second was the dental visit. So I went and, you know, got my teeth cleaned. I didn't have to, but, you know, I did that, and it was $80. And that was quite the experience, because it was a little bit different. In the U.S., they'll have a little rotary tool that they use to put the toothpaste on, and they just go about cleaning your teeth after they've, you know, scraped off all the plaque. But not here, and I don't know if it's at all of the Portuguese dental offices or dentists, but they pretty much used kind of like sandblasting a little bit that seemed effective. I mean, it got all the plaque off underneath your gums and everything, but the downside to that was that your gums would bleed, and they were very sore for about a week after the cleaning. So that was a very different experience.
Yeah, so she came out of the dentist office and she had blood pouring down inside of her mouth. So I passed on it. I just said, "I'll keep brushing my teeth." No, I'm just kidding.
It wasn't
but
pouring.
It was different. Well, it's definitely different.
It was very different.
And the dentist was in a full coverage bodysuit, right?
Absolutely. Because of the pandemic, and they're definitely taking extra precautions because of, you know, they're really exposed to germs and
breath and those things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
so that was $80. Do we expect a refund on that?
We do expect a refund on that as well.
All right.
Because the cleanings are covered.
Yes. Okay. So you also had some discussions about
getting a root canal. So I do have to have that done, and that is going to cost about $250 US.
Which I think is pretty darn inexpensive compared to U.S. cost.
Very inexpensive, because in the U.S. it's between $850 all the way up to about $1,300 for a root canal. So I'll be getting that done next month. So that'll be in next month's bucket. And the last thing that we had under health is vision. I hadn't had a checkup probably in about 3 or 4 years, so I had to get a new prescription on my glasses, and I thought that was going to, you know, be a little bit less than the U.S., but it was right up there. I had to get new glasses because the prescription obviously was out of date, and if I don't get the really thin lenses, it literally looks like I'm wearing Coca-Cola bottles for glasses, the real thick glass. So that was just for one pair of glasses was, you know, just over $400. So that was still a bit shocking to me.
Yeah, that one was disappointing for us. Maybe our viewers will list some different options we should consider next time.
Yep.
when we look into eyeglasses. And then you also got contact lenses, right?
Yes, the contact lenses, I think, because I have astigmatism in one of my eyes, they're going to be a little more expensive. So I think just for 3 months, it'll be 150 euro for contact lenses. So we'll have to see what I do on that.
And again, if there are viewers that have real practical ways we can save money around glasses and contact lenses, please put them in the comments below.
Absolutely.
And because we'll definitely follow up on that. So thank you. So that kind of wraps up the dentist and the doctor. Because we're going to get fully refunded. Basically, we'll have had 2 dentists with 0 out of pocket.
Right.
We told you about our insurance in our last video. So if you want to look and see how much we paid for that, go back to our first month of July. And so that's pretty inexpensive, but the vision stuff caught us off guard. Yes. So we hope there are better alternatives that we're informed by you guys. So we'll jump to our next bar, which is automobile. And just as in the prior video, the automobile brings a fairly steep cost. The fuel itself cost about $344, which, gas prices still remained about the same here that just in the original videos that we had. So not a lot of change in gas prices. The tolls, have we mentioned how much we love tolls? The tolls, we paid $87 in tolls. Keep in mind this $87 worth of tolls. This is going really from Linares across the country all the way down to Magoitio Beach. So there were tolls in the first day trip down. And basically every time we went to the mall,
yes,
there was two directions, tolls going in, tolls going out. They weren't much. It was I think it was a €1, 105 going one way. So each time we went to the mall, it was a couple of euros in tolls. And of course, if you wanted to bad enough, you could avoid these tolls, but you got the privilege of driving slower and to get to the mall. So. The tolls, you just almost have to accept it's a part of daily life here, right? Or you're going to drive some really slow roads, basically. Once again, parking. I don't remember the parking. I'm sure was around Sintra while we were doing tourism and parking. And it was about $14. And we washed the car one time for about $7. So if you're going to have a car here, you can expect $300, $400, $500 worth of monthly cost just to maintain the automobile. On to tourism. So tourism, as we mentioned before we got to Sintra, was almost free everywhere we went, and that was not the case in Sintra.
No, there was cost in going to the palace and the Moorish castle and Regalaira during the Jeep tour. So there's definitely some expenses there. Yeah,
so the Jeep tour itself was $129 to escort us around and give us the history. We already gave you that in a video. We'll put a link to that here so you can easily click on that. Hopefully we'll figure out a way to put the link in there. Let's just say that. And then, of course, in the Sintra bucket here, we did have, even when you're on the Jeep tour, you had to pay for entrance into Pena Palace and Regalaira.
Yes.
So there are additional tickets even on the Jeep tour as well, so understand that. And then, of course, we told you we came back to the National Palace, and that's the entry fee for 2 people, then to the National Palace in Sintra and the Moorish Castle.
Yes.
So there's a fair amount of tourism, $225 worth of tourism last month, and we didn't really see that when we were on the outskirts of really the populous city, right? Yeah. So jumping to the next thing, which is electronics. We did make only one electronic purchase, which has slowed down pretty significantly. Once we bought the drone and those things, we did buy a Bluetooth speaker. We suffered a little bit. I think it's the only thing I really miss from the United States significantly is good audio in my home. I have a passion for home audio, and going from place to place, people don't have that same passion. So I bought a decent, honestly, for its size, a good sounding speaker, the little JBL.
So we can enjoy music outside.
Yep, we take it outside and Bluetooth it to the computer, so we get to enjoy decent sound from such a little device. We would honestly suggest, if you're interested in those small devices, the little JBL speaker here has it's pretty good output, pretty good sound quality. That was $134. We caught that on sale, honestly. So anyway, jumping finally to entertainment, our usual trip to the movies. We went to the movies
4 times.
4 times, and for a total of $114. Now, all 4 times that came with 2 tickets and popcorn
and a Coke. Medium drink.
Yep. So that's actually not too bad. That's basically just a little bit over $25, $27 every time you go for the popcorn, the Coke, and the tickets. So that's just kind of our way of life. Maybe final learning here is customs. So one of the things that I did, a couple of things, I needed my daughter to send me a piece of electronics. And then the second piece to that is when you're editing these large videos, having RAM constraints on my desktop, I was like, okay, let me buy some RAM. So I went to pull the prices up for the RAM from here in Europe to the United States. So I said, you know what, I'll just buy this stuff in the U.S. and have my daughter ship that over. And when we did that, receiving those 2 packages to come through the customs process was an additional $92 worth of customs fees. The learning here is there's a couple of things I want to buy. We talked about some on the car video, but it's difficult to process bringing stuff over. Basically, fly over to the U.S. and come back if you can buy it while you're in the U.S. And then bring it back with you on the airplane. Otherwise, customs was kind of a shocking process for us. Finally, last little bit of cost here is the personal side, and basically a little bit of makeup cost, and then household. Who remember? We don't really remember what was in the household, but just minor costs in general, and then the phone. And we both renewed our phones for the month. And that pretty much gives you an overview of the overall spend for us. So again, $3,663 for an entire month here of uninhibited lifestyle.
Yeah, it really isn't that bad.
It's not bad. No. It's $1,000 more. Could we have beat? Could we, if we tried hard enough, could we come in at $2,500? The answer to that is yes. We'll get a little bit of that money back on health. We could have eaten in and probably saved $300. We obviously could have taken a lot less tourism cost if we wanted to bad enough. And, and a speaker for $134 in customs, you could get yourself back to $2,500 if you took purposeful action to do it. But there it is. That's the overview. I'm very happy with the month of September. And honestly, we're quite a bit through October here, and we're looking good.
Yes,
budget-wise. So again, unaltered spending patterns, and we're feeling pretty good with it. So, all right. Well, you know what? We wanted to add one more thing on the financial side. It has been almost 2 months since we have been monetized on YouTube, and we thought there might be a few people curious about how much money we've made off of YouTube. So when we first updated you back on August 18th, you may remember that we had earned
50 cents.
50 cents. I mean, we were knocking it out of the park, right? As we mentioned, it's been almost 2 months. This data is now all the way through October the 13th, so we're 5 days from the end of the second month. And our total estimated revenue is
$59.84.
The crowd erupts. Applause from all over. So we can officially thank all of you people who are suffering through these videos for feeding us for about 3 meals. So we're not starving, and as a matter of fact, you are probably the cause of at least 3 pounds of fat on both of us.
Probably. But yes, thank you. A very sincere thank you.
Yeah.
Muito obrigada.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope that you continue to do so we don't starve.
I doubt that's going to happen ever.
We hope this information is useful to you. It gives you some idea of what you should expect actually living in Portugal. And if you like this video,
please go ahead and give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
And we'll be back with you soon with a couple more videos. So we hope you have a great day.
Yes. Adios.
Adios.
And atelog.
And atelog.